This man has no eyebrows, and that should be a red flag.
I didn't say I hate the way you look. I just see the way you struggle.
That's a bitch who has a plan.
If you're gonna swing, like kick push, like do it with your chest.
Let me just make a list right now while I'm feeling clever. And by Tinder, we mean Grindr. But you know I'm working through that.
Sorry, I'm an actress.
And Natalie Portman didn't sob in real time getting her head shaved in V for Vendetta for you to act like she's not a part of this conversation.
We ask everyone that comes on this show if they are a lover or a hater. Some of us are both. Happy Bisexual Awareness Week. Oh, wait, actually, I think that's over.
The week is over?
The Bisexual Awareness Week. No one was aware. They never are. But Hunter recently answered that question.
Yeah, a version of it. So the, I would say literary collective, Dream Baby Press, you have absolutely seen these like Instagram graphics where it's like big text, things someone loves, things someone hates. And when I tell you, I was getting a little salty. I kept waiting for my number to be called. No, I was like, wait.
Actually, yeah, me too.
Everyone else has done this except for me. And then shout out to our friend Matt Starr, whose handle is @MattStarr. I think that's so fun.
I love that you plugged that.
Yeah,
That's a good friend.
Yes. So Matt finally asked me, and this is how shady I was about not being asked, is that I drafted it. I'd had a list drafted. And that's called stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
You emailed back within 1 minute.
No, I literally
done.
did. I was like, I bet he thinks I'm so clever. No, I simply was on the way to the airport one day and I was like mad that I hadn't done one yet. And I said, let me just make a list right now while I'm feeling clever.
You're like, number one thing I hate, not having been asked to do this yet. But you're just such a fucking hater that I'm sure you have a multiple running list of things that just piss you off.
And you know what? Yeah, actually I do. But it's like, but I think that these like Dream Baby love-hate lists are such a like fun distillation of like how clever you can be.
Yeah.
I'm specifically thinking of, I can't remember who it was, but there was someone who I think maybe we're friends with, and Keith McNally had like commented, usually very clever and amusing person, but this list is kind of so-so.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I actually don't want to say it.
Oh, but wait. No.
I just mouthed the Hunter.
Okay, well, never mind. I feel bad for bringing it up. But anyway, I wasn't going to be caught slipping. So things Hunter Harris loves.
Take us there.
Number 1, only children. Number 2, my dog Remy's yawn. Number 3, Reddit influencer, NYC influencer Snark. Every Regina Hall performance, no one makes enough noise for her. And I listen. I will stand on business every time. Walking around with an iced coffee.
Michael QB.
No, some people were like critical of that one, like thinking it was basic. I won't name names, but I said I'm reaching a demographic with this one. Okay, I'm speaking to my queer brothers and sisters with this one. Okay. Number 6, asking my 82-year-old great auntie about her wedding. Number 7, buying Gardettos at the airport. Now let me say this: Gardettos are airport gold.
Wait, what are Gardettos?
Bitch, I can't even. You literally are so LA.
What are Gardettos? I love that. I love the way it sounds on my tongue.
Like garlicky. It's like if Olive Garden was a chip. If Olive Garden was a snack.
Oh, with that like kind of ugly typeface. It's like cursive.
Yeah.
Okay.
With like a red, like, kind of brand.
Yeah.
And they're so like, I'll say they're like Chex Mix for people who are black. For people who like want something with like a little bit black or Italian X. Yeah.
Oh, then maybe I could fit into that actually somewhere.
Number 8, the rat at the end of The Departed. Number 9, Olive Garden's chicken parm. Number 10, this one line from Girls. Did you leave in a rush?
Thank you for saying that.
And I said, ending on a Girls reference, but not just ending Girls reference, but did you leave in a rush? Like, is that not me as hell?
Yeah.
As someone who knows me so well, that's my entire essence distilled into one line of dialogue.
It's like the bitchiest thing you can say and the most pointed thing you can say as well. That's like, it's coveted bitchy.
I mean, it's like, it's always gonna fuck Amy Schumer, but the way that she says that line on Girls, where she looks at Lena Dunham and is like genuinely surprised. Like, she's trying to make sense of it in her head. Like, did you leave in a rush? Like, this is the outfit you chose to present yourself to the world today? This is the outfit that pulled Adam Driver? That's crazy. So yeah. And then you've done a dream baby. You've done like, listen.
I have. I saw Jemima Kirk's and that was when I really tapped into the dream baby press community.
Hot girl, cool girl. You did it way earlier than I did. What are your loves?
Okay, my loves. So really hard to do this because I love so hard and so big. My loves are voicemails, Nickelback, celebrity notes app apologies, kissing your friends. So yeah, so with that one. Birthday cards, bisexuals. Again, happy Bisexual Awareness Week, even though it was last week. Being blocked by Ava DuVernay. Only on Twitter, though. Instagram, she lets me follow. Mutually canceling plans, reading slow, and being perceived. Ironically, because I love attention.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Like 8 out of the 10 you like and 2 you don't.
No.
An overall rating.
I'm gonna say something.
What bone to pick do you have? What bone to pick do you have?
What bone to pick do I have? Reading slow and being perceived feel a little bit like e-girl, Tumblr girl to me.
And who am I but myself? Okay. I've never been anyone but me. I never claimed to be cool or interesting.
But I do think birthday cards is like very sweet.
Yeah.
And also being blocked by Ava DuVernay. Listen, one day we'll find out.
It's been years. It's been like 7 years.
Wait, I low-key love her for that. I'm adding her to my love list for that exact reason.
For Hunter's love list, Peyton being blocked by Ava DuVernay. I don't know why. Don't ask questions. It's just my truth. It's
I'm
my
trying
experience.
to think. Everyone that blocked me, like low-key, I deserved it.
Who's blocked you on Twitter?
It's always someone so random. Like, oh my gosh, Nancy Pelosi's daughter blocked me. And I didn't even realize it until she was like trending on Twitter. And I was like what?
Why can't I find the source?
What could I possibly done? And I thought maybe like she hates A Star Is Born, like something so like niche and random.
Yeah.
But then I think it was because I was making jokes about Nancy Pelosi kneeling in Kenta cloth on like that one Congressional Black Caucus day.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, probably deserved.
Well, I mean, she
I'm
deserves to be
standing on
blocked
it.
by
Yeah,
the black
no,
community for doing that. So
I'm happy I did it.
Speaking
I don't
of Nancy
regret it.
Pelosi, take me to your hate list.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
What a transition. I love it. Okay, number 1, running into people. Number 2, mumbling. Number 3, petty corrections. Number 4, leaving anything in my other bag. And that
Such a good one.
actually like drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 things that I have in every purse.
Yes.
A fruit roll-up, a little thing of hand sanitizer, the Listerine strips, and like a mirror of some sort.
Okay. You prefer the Listerine strips versus the spray?
Absolutely, I do.
There's 2 genders, and it's the people that prefer the Listerine spray.
I didn't even know the spray. First of all, not enough. Not again on that. Stop. Jeez. Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm an actress.
I didn't even know that the spray was still in existence.
Yeah, she's local. She's around.
And do you have it on like a little carabiner or something? Like on a little hook?
Oh.
The way I said carabiner, I'm sorry.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
giving like
You
hard.
called me a dyke. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Even the way it came out of my mouth, I was like, I don't think I should be saying this.
You put your Listerine strips on a little carabiner? Faggot. Like, damn.
Queen. Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I actually do prefer the strips though because it feels like euphoria. It feels like putting a Listerine strip in your mouth feels like acid tab.
It feels so sexy. It's like,
I don't know what I imagine acid to be like.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Number 5. Okay. When someone talks to you and they spit on you just a little bit and you know it and they know it.
This happened to me literally like an hour after reading this. And I was like, Hunter.
What did I know and when did I know? But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When it's like you kind of feel it.
And you sometimes see it.
And you both like don't want to say anything and you know they know. Like you know, because usually when it happens, they like look at you like where they know it landed.
On your like chin.
Okay, and then here's where 2 things. Number 6, when people are impatient with the elderly. I hate that. Nothing actually makes me more mad. Number 7, the way I look in white button downs. And I learned through this that you also hate the way I look in white button downs. So why don't you answer to that?
I didn't say I hate the way you look. I just see the way you struggle. I see the plight in your shoulders.
No,
when
because
you wear a crisp white button up.
Why does that feel like that line from School of Rock? I don't hate you because you're tacky because I hate you. Is that from School of Rock?
It is. From that little gay boy.
Yeah. Okay, number 8, getting logged out of anything. Number 9, taking the train right when school gets out.
Fuck them kids.
But you know, I'm like, I will plan my entire day around doing an errand at 2 versus an errand at 3:30 to 4.
3:45 is the worst time in New York City.
I mean, teenagers are just so loud.
And
oh my
mean,
goodness.
And they're so mean.
And
Have you ever tripped in front of a teenager?
I have actually tried, like, self-consciously to not trip in front of a teenager and then tripped. And then number 10, Apple Watches at weddings. And someone commented, do you mean like if a bride is wearing an Apple Watch or if you're wearing an Apple Watch as a guest? And I was like, wearing an Apple Watch to your own wedding is a level of depravity I could not have thought of.
That feels like slavery. At your own wedding?
At your
Those
own
are shackles.
wedding.
Those are shackles.
Walking down the aisle with an Apple Watch on.
No one's ever done that. I would hope. Some white person has, actually.
Absolutely. And you know they're like some kind of like grungy white person trying to close those rings. Okay, what are your hates?
Okay, well, this one's appealing to my audience here. Number 1, mosquito bites.
I have one on my face right now. No. Like, I have several mosquito bites that have just gotten on me in the last 24 hours in a way that I can't even speak about. I need to go in witness protection.
I can't see them, but you're doing a good job covering up. I take this one back, but it used to be 0.5 photos. 0.5 photos. Now I'm an ally to 0.5 photos. Back camera flash only, though, and up. Not full body. Missing out. I have FOMO. Sorry, I'm an adult who has FOMO. I don't care. Taxes, obviously. Anything, quote, for exposure and not a rate. Let's get rates involved. Never do anything for free. Unless you're a hotel chain in LA, I'm looking for a place to stay for 3 days in the end of October. Thank you. Sweating. Renesmee's name. If you know, you know. Ashley. You know what you did.
Fragnapane? That's Halsey. I was just thinking of an Ashley. Ashley who?
No. Number 9, no worries if not. And number 10, being perceived again. It's hard. Like, I'm like, look at me, don't. Look at me. Maybe stop. Perceive me. Put it away. But do I look good?
Enough. Yeah, these are fun. Mosquito bites number 1. That's my culture. It's not a costume. I've never seen you with a mosquito bite. I'm just saying. Anyway, what are we talking about this week? Today we're talking about The Secret Lives of Mormon Moms, the show on Hulu, and what happens to white men when they shave their head. Let me spoil it. It's powerful. We're looking at you, Penn Badgley. And please don't forget that we have a bonus segment that drops every Thursday only on Wondery Plus. This week we're talking about 143, Katy Perry's new album.
So subscribe to Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts to check that out or to mourn with us, whatever happens first.
So let me just say this.
Are
you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first and a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat, but we're not calling you out. No, we're calling you in. This is a safe space
to talk shit.
But of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And I just spit a little bit. And this is Let Me Say This. I actually watched it fly out of my mouth. I said, thank God you're not there.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Do you know when you're watching something and you're like, yeah, this is fine, whatever. And then, oh, I'm watching television history. But like, I felt like a switch go off and I said, while watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, this is like gold. This is like gold captured lightning in a bottle, this show. It is so spectacular. It is so outrageous.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like the Spider-Man meme of like everyone holding a gun to one another. Like, I really don't know who's at the bottom or who's at the top.
Holding a gun to one another and also holding a gun to themselves. They're like, whoa. Who am I going to shoot?
And also maybe holding a gun up to God.
Yes,
like that's really how watching this show feels.
Yeah.
It's taken over my entire life. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. For those of you who have not watched this show on Hulu, giving a spoiler alert because we will be talking about the season in its entirety. Have you finished it yet?
Yeah, I finished the finale last night.
Oh my God.
You won again.
You won again? What do you mean?
Because you were like, press play. And I said, what do I have to lose? Hunter's never led me astray. Actually, that's not true. But we'll follow up on that later. But when I locked in, I sat up. I found God, actually. I said, maybe I need to give a phone call to the Church of Latter-day Saints.
So basically on this show, it follows a group of like maybe 7 Mormon like wags who live in Provo, Utah, and they're all TikTokers and they're all in like a kind of loose collective friend group called Mom Talk. And basically we're watching a series of like a disturbance in their social group, which has like kind of a power vacuum. And so two women are kind of competing to be like the leader of Mom Talk. It's
Yeah.
Whitney versus Taylor. Taylor used to be the like head of Mom Talk, kind of. She started Mom Talk, I think. But due to things that transpire both immediately before and during the first episode, her friend Whitney turns on her and now wants to be like the leader
Yeah.
of Mom Talk. And you got to go into what's going on with Taylor because
Okay.
this is when I was locked the fuck in.
So
I've never seen a pilot episode where so much happens in one person's life.
if white women are going to act up, we're going to tune in. Like that's kind of just our culture. And before it in the pilot, so before technically the show even starts, we find out that Taylor, or if you followed on TikTok, maybe you already had known, had been on TikTok Live and was just disclosing everyone's sexcapades, aka saying they were soft swinging. So these groups of moms and their husbands were like basically not like sucking and fucking in front of each other, but more like kissing and grinding, bumping and grinding.
The fact that it's soft swinging, it's like, wait, what? Like that, I didn't even know that was a thing you
Me
could
too.
do.
If you're gonna swing, like kick push, like do it with your chest. I feel like what's the
push,
push
Lupe
kick?
Fiasco. Oh my God.
Whoa, I really took it there. That was important. So that's like how the show kicks off. Is like there's like tension in this group because Taylor had, disrupted everyone's lives by announcing everyone's, sexual activities, their after school specials. And that's just the beginning. That's like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's the not even inciting incident. That's like that's where we enter into like that's the establishing action, basically.
Yeah.
And then after this, you're just gonna have to like really bear with me here. So after going public with this soft swinging scandal, Taylor gets divorced.
Yeah.
She starts dating a new guy named Dakota, who is an idiot. Let's just put a pin in that. We'll come back to it later. Then she gets into a fight with her mom. And in the end of the fight, she's like, and guess what? I need to take a pregnancy test. Because she thinks she might be pregnant.
Yeah.
And then after that, she has a miscarriage. And put a pin in that too.
Put a pin in that because we're going to come back to the miscarriage.
And then after the miscarriage, it's like a crazy time jump. And after the miscarriage, she gets arrested for domestic violence with her aforementioned boyfriend Dakota.
Yeah.
And then after that, there's a crazy time jump where she is like meeting with her parole officer and also revealed to be pregnant. And now she and Dakota are living together. And that all happens in about 30 minutes.
Right. Like the episode's not even done. We still got work to do.
Let's say the climax of the episode. The climax of the episode is how all of this leads to a real moment of like actually soul came out of my body between Whitney and Taylor when they're like meeting with the girls and Taylor's catching them up on all of this.
All of this lore. Okay, so let's go back to that miscarriage moment for a second because the girls are all sitting down and another drama, this is maybe like a BC storyline, is Whitney's husband. It was revealed that he was on Tinder.
And by Tinder, we mean Grindr.
In the show, it's Tinder, but in if you're in the know,
if you're on TikTok, it's Grindr.
If you're turning this on, it's Grindr. So she is telling the whole group, like, I'm so sorry I lied about this scandal. I didn't know how to react, but it's true. She's weeping.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney loves to weep. My God. And she is like having this alleged heartfelt moment.
It is a heartfelt moment. You can tell. No,
I don't know.
I think she was genuinely like upset about this.
Okay, the woman that did a TikTok dance in front of her like sickly child.
And that's what got her canceled ultimately, which set her on this warpath. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
So I'm gonna call crocodile tears, but sure, your husband is gay. So that happens. And when I say immediately
in the same conversation, in the same room.
Interjects these tears.
Taylor says, let me stop you right there because you know what? I did just have a miscarriage. So, I think I just had a miscarriage. Like it's shocking.
Yeah.
And the way Whitney's expression like hardens from actual like crying to I'm gonna kill this bitch.
Yeah. She was a gun owner in that moment. Actually, probably in real life too. But Taylor interrupting her to be like, well, guess what? I had a miscarriage, so I mean, do it that way you will.
And it's like everyone's attention in the room moves from Whitney over to Taylor. And it's like, and of course, Taylor's miscarriage is like a genuinely like heartfelt moment. She's very upset, but then also kind of, I would say a little bit ambivalent about like how her pregnancy would have actually worked out, given that she is not really in a relationship with Dakota, does not
No.
plan to marry him, and also seems a little bit stumped by him
Yeah.
most of the time.
But the dynamic in this group is always interesting, especially at this time, because Taylor has like the most following on social. So like
She
it's
is
not
the
just
queen
her,
bee.
yeah, it's not just her being the queen bee and like taking that role on. It's like the numbers are on her side. And so naturally all these women are kind of like trying to be her friend and by proxy benefit from her followers.
You know what it's giving? It's giving Blair and Serena. No, it really is, because Serena was
Yeah.
always the queen bee, but never
Yeah.
really wanted the title. She didn't want to lead.
Yeah.
And Blair always wanted to be the queen bee and like have all the power, but never really had the influence. Like
Yeah.
people naturally gravitated towards Serena.
And the irony is like Taylor is like, she's actually just got so much shit, as we just said, going on in her life that she's like, this little TikTok dance troupe. It's really Abby Lee Miller's dance troupe. That's all they do is shuck and jive over there. But like she has so much going on that she's like, oh, right, and this group. So like holding this title is just significantly less important to her as the show goes on.
When a girl calls her white trash and her response is, but you know I'm working through that.
Wait, me as fuck.
No, my soul left my
Whoa.
body. She didn't even say, no, that's not true. She said, and I'm dealing with
With
it.
it.
And I'm trying to get through it. It is, no, it's really cinema. Okay, so I want to talk about our favorite gals on this show.
Yeah.
Because I came in, when I pressed play, Taylor was just so chaotic. I was like, I hate this girl. Like, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I might be on Whitney's side. And then slowly, well, actually pretty quickly, I was like, never mind, this bitch is dumb as hell too. So who were you gravitating towards? Not only between those two, but like generally in the cast?
Definitely Taylor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, immediately Taylor. I love White Mess.
What did you say about how like you know that she wore, about someone else we were talking about in another episode, how like you know she wore like Lisa Frank pajamas to a mall.
She wore her Sesame Street pajamas outside for sure.
Yes.
And her Crocs, of
yes,
course.
No, that's Taylor entirely distilled.
Love. And I respect a woman like that. But I was immediately on her side because Whitney gave me the ick upon arrival, especially like her what's it called when the talking head moment,
the confessional.
Yeah, the confessional. She's in this like crisp white dress, and I was like, I don't trust a bitch who wants to pretend to be good.
It's very like Reformation core.
Yeah, and like her little like bandanas. Something so sinister behind those eyes, and I don't like her gay husband either. Normally I stan a gay husband, but not that one. So I was immediately on her side. But you know who's actually taking it for me?
Who?
Little Miss Demi. I want her on this podcast. I need to queen out with that bitch hard. She is like the one of the group to me that like, she is an instigator for sure, but she does it with passion and conviction. If you're gonna instigate, you can't instigate and run away. She instigates and she literally stays there and like watches you duke it out. Like that's my queen.
Mm-hmm. Because before like this morning, to kind of get my facts straight, I rewatched the girls' night kind of birthday trip episode when it's like maybe episode 2 or 3, where Demi has this thing where she's like, let's make a question box and let's all write down questions anonymously and put it in this box, and like we'll read them aloud and like make people answer. And it's like, that's a bitch who has a plan.
Yeah.
And what the funniest part is that this all backfires and she is the one who ends up getting called out. But the way, I mean, again, it's like the way that this question box ripples through the room is like TV gold. It comes out that Whitney told Jennifer, like Jen Affleck, we'll get back to that. Whitney told Jen that Demi told Whitney that Demi thinks that Jen is like too Mormon.
Right.
And then, of course, Whitney gets mad, Jen gets mad. And then Jen says, well, if you felt that way, why don't I tell Taylor that you said that she's white trash?
I love high school. I love it. I had a blast. We should act like this
these
more
women,
often.
It's like, if you're going to come for me, I'm going to come for you right back. And then Taylor is like, well, I think you're white trash because you had your top off when my boyfriend was in the house when you were trying to get mic'd. It's like, wait.
Yeah. I think some also context is like these women are supposed to be like alternative, more like they're actively practicing Mormonism, but they're alternative in the way that they're a little bit more open-minded in terms of generally how they see, marriage or dynamics with their husbands or children, like or even sexuality sometimes. But I'm not saying they're
alternative
woke.
to what? No,
alternative to hardcore Mormons. Did you watch Under the Banner of Heaven?
Girl, you need to let that one go.
She calls herself a cinephile.
Well, it was television, first of all.
Okay.
Let's start and end there. Okay. I see what you're saying, but I think that this is like pretty conventional
No,
Mormonism to me.
I got
mean-
the inside scoop from a former Mormon.
Oh.
These girls they would have been burned at the stake.
Okay, that's interesting to me because, and we should talk about this now, that like the Mormonism, how it plays out in the show is so
Yeah.
interesting to me that like these are women who get like filler, Botox, they get facials, they get plastic surgery, all of this stuff. And their justification for that
Yeah.
is that like their body is a temple in the Bible, so that all of these things are like actually them exercising their faith.
And I agree. The
Yeah,
body's a temple,
no,
so
they-
I gotta look snatched.
They made a point there. But like they can't drink or they can't drink.
No.
So they do
Some of them do. Some of them
ketamine
drink.
and they do lots of drugs. They get laughing gas while they're getting Botox, which to me is like medical malpractice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like,
I
that
think
makes no sense.
The place that they're filming, like, you guys need to shut down. Like, that's not what should be happening, by the way, legally. And there's also like the supporting character of it all, Soda.
the soda.
The soda.
The soda. They have like soda shops that are open like 24 hours a day, damn near. Like
Yeah.
instead of going to a bar, like go to the soda shop, or they can get like a 44-ounce like Malibu like haze, like just all these like crazy names for drinks that are just like
Pumps
different types of syrup.
sugar. Yeah.
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 Syrup.
Serum?
Syrup.
Serum is what I said.
Yeah.
Syrup.
And that's the kind of thing that I'm like, how are you? They do ketamine together, like, but they're also super strict to like wear their garments.
Well, that's just the one that's too Mormon. Jen.
Yeah.
Jen Affleck and if you want to talk about least favorite characters, Whitney, yeah, but Jen's husband, Zach.
First of all, this man has no eyebrows, and that should be a red flag. He has hair bleached like
And
fucking
thin.
Ariana Grande in Wicked. Like he has a
Leave
little
Ariana out
square.
of this.
Sorry, but he has a square. It's like he is so unsettling to me. Has a gambling addiction, but has to ask his wife for money to gamble, and then tells her what she should be and should not be doing.
Yeah.
Like that's
Some
what I
fucking
mean.
nerve.
That feels like pretty typical.
She is, I agree.
Yeah.
For their relationship.
Yeah.
But like the way that those women are like, leave him, we hate him, like he's like trapping you. Like that conversation is one that is like not conducive to Mormonism. Mormonism is like marriage, priesthood holder.
Yeah, I guess a lot of these
You
women
know?
are divorced or
Yeah.
like on
Or
to
had
a
been
second.
divorced.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Which that leads us into my favorite character, which I think might be Jen, Miss Jennifer Lynn Affleck, the first.
And yes, related to.
No, they're
or
not
really.
related. They're not related.
thought
That
his
was all a
cousin.
lie. No, that was
Oh.
all a lie. The reporter Katie Notopoulos, she did this whole like went back to the like what 1800 census and found like there's no evidence of them ever being related.
Oh.
Just another one of Zach's lies. Just like everything else that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
This man doesn't have a damn job. She's paying with her TikToks, she's paying for him to go through medical school.
Mhm.
And he's like, I think we need to move. Like, I think you shouldn't be in this. He brings this woman to tears because she went to a Chippendale show and like didn't talk to anyone and felt bad about it the whole time.
And didn't even know she was going to be going to a Chippendale show. It was a surprise.
And he was like, I'm going to divorce you. You know, I'm Mormon pilled. Like I have more to say about that.
You're
about
Mormon.
this. No, not quite. I'm not wearing my garments, but I do like. I just think that like there is something about these women that like the cognitive dissonance between them like doing drugs and like being so into partying in Taylor's case, but then also being like I really need to like reestablish myself in the church and also get this like vibrator contract to post Spawn for is such a like fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they also will stand on business every time. They look at you and say, I have a problem with you. And the fact that they also all have the exact same hair. So let's get back into these girls.
Wait, who else are your favorite characters? Who are you standing?
Girl, you know I've talked about who I fucking hate first.
Oh.
No, I need to talk more about Zach. I need
Okay,
to talk
keep
more about
going.
Zach.
Go
Because
in.
it's like there is like a dynamic of the husbands being so worthless individuals. Zach is worthless to
Mhm.
me. And then I said we would get back to Dakota because we have to talk about him.
We have to talk about Dakota.
So Taylor is not married to Dakota. She's just having a baby with him. And then she brings him home to her parents' house one day and says, Dakota's moving in.
And refuses to marry him is like really holding it. He's trying. He's really kicking and screaming, in fact, to like lock it down. But again, just because of like Mormonism, not because he's like a good guy who gives a shit.
Mormonism, but also like he obviously has such a deep well of need
Yeah.
and like brings nothing to the table ever. He really, but he stomps and cries about wanting to
Sometimes
get
he
married.
brings humor. Sometimes he be cracking me up. I'm sorry. Because he acts so crazy.
No, he like, sorry, but he's dumb.
As
He has
hell.
nothing going on in
Yeah.
his little head. But the thing that I have to talk about, speaking of like Dakota actually being dumb, is that one of the other girls who is probably maybe my favorite on the show, Macy.
Favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Macy with the mole. You don't like Macy? The blonde?
Wishy-washy Macy?
She's not.
Can't stand on business, but
She does stand on business. You're kidding?
with no.
Macy, no. Because Macy is the one who is very close and defensive of Taylor, and she knows that Dakota and Taylor do not belong together.
She is an ally to Taylor, but she's too wishy-washy to me about the Whitney situation.
Okay,
Think
and
about
it's
that.
a toxic relationship, and she's obviously being exploited by Whitney, okay? Because Whitney loves to use her for clout. I digress. But you're telling me that Macy going around, sniffing around, digging into people's business, finding out who she thinks that Dakota had slept with before he was officially in a relationship with Taylor, that does remind you of Hunter Yvonne Harris?
I was just going to say, every time you have a favorite character and then you start naming the traits about them that like really rile you up, it's just the way you act.
Because that's how I would behave. That's how I would behave. That's how I would behave.
Business.
If I saw your black ass hand in hand with Dakota, I would say, "Oh, I need to break this shit up right now. Oh, we need to have a talk about this today."
You'd be sitting outside my door during the girls' trip, being like, "Oh no, they did not. Oh no, she did not." Which Whitney,
and
in fact,
thank
did.
God that's what Macy does.
Yeah,
and how she's repaid. So Taylor knows that Macy does not like Dakota.
No,
I mean it's obvious. Macy can't even pretend. But then what she actually does is invites Taylor to like model for her like baby brand,
her
like
baby
mother
brand. It's supplements.
Yes.
And it's pregnancy supplements, and it's called Baby Mama.
And so Dakota thinks, watching this photo shoot, oh, this is an opportunity for me and my baby mama.
Well, back up, because Taylor just brought him. Taylor's a little stupid too. I love my girl, but she's a little dumb too. You're at a professional work shoot and you brought your man to be like, I figure you guys can kind of talk while I do this. And Macy's like, well, no. There's a time and there's a place. If there's anything I learned from a black mother. And I was like, girl, like, leave your man at home.
But then Dakota comes on set, takes off his t-shirt, and like wants to like be hugging up on Taylor from behind, posing. I was like, this is the most ghetto shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
A man co-opting someone else's professional business shoot because he wants to have an engagement shoot. I was like, this is broke as hell behavior.
And I know he didn't chip in for that photographer.
Just no home training. Macy's like, this is my work event.
He ripped off his shirt like he was about to belly flop. Like something, it was so like, you know that kid? It was, oh my God, it stunk.
No, Dakota literally is like a Tim Robinson character from I Think You Should Leave. Like he's just so like lights on. No one has ever been home. No one has ever taken residence there.
I feel like with this show, I am so thankful you brought it into my life, and I can't wait for what happens next. I spent hours, actually, the minute I finished the show, I spent hours on their TikToks just watching what they were posting, specifically Whitney's. She loves to dance. But then I was thinking like, are we over saturated with Mormons? Like Mormons are everywhere right now. We've got Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mormon adjacent culture, Under the Banner of Heaven, which I still stand by. Be sweet, eat, pray, repeat, whatever the fuck that little show documentary was.
Be sweet, eat, pray, repeat.
I'm not Mormon, so I don't know. If
I don't
that's
even
right
know
or
what you're
wrong.
talking about.
It was on Netflix. That's not the
Okay.
name, but
Okay.
the people who know will know.
Okay.
AKA, I'm not going to look it up and I don't feel like remembering.
Okay.
But Mormons are everywhere. I'm like, I think it's time for more religious traumas.
Ask me again, is there too much Mormon stuff around?
Do you think there's too many Mormons around?
No, not if they're delivering like this. When I tell you, me watching Taylor on this show, it was like I had been reintroduced to Ramona Singer. And I know that you won't understand that, but people who know will know. This woman, like the way that she just like kind of turns on and is like, oh, this is a crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Like she literally, when she looked at that girl and said, what's white trash about me? Go ahead and tell me.
No, say it to my face. Let it
I
out.
said, oh, this is like reality TV genius.
Yeah.
This is someone who got arrested and pregnant in the same episode of television. No one is doing it like her, okay?
I didn't even realize that this show would be a like Housewives-esque franchise. I thought it was gonna be like a documentary. Like for some reason, I was thinking it would be serious. I don't know. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, watch your back. Watch your bag. These girls are coming for you.
They are. And, I wonder how the season ends on like, I would say kind of a stupid like climax
Yeah.
of Macy like going to try to figure out if Dakota actually like cheated on Taylor or not, which it's like, girl, look at him. Obviously he did.
Look at the way that man took his shirt off at your photo shoot. That's a cheater.
The way that he's like, I can't even remember. He's like gets backed into corners so easily. He's like, well, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be kissing and hugging another girl when I had you at home. Like, it's like, girl, enough. Okay. He's not smart enough to even come up with a good excuse. Obviously, he's guilty.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Like, it just feels like they stopped so abruptly this season that I'm like, just there. We have to get a part 2. Like,
and we will. But for now, we have their TikToks. And what these women will do, they'll dance and they'll post.
Did you see the latest that I sent you? Like right on our way here?
No.
That it seems like Taylor has broken up with Dakota, but they're not together anymore. Because she was like crying and dancing. The way they cry and dance on TikTok, I'm like, this must be a white TikTok thing. I've never seen this on like my side of TikTok.
But let me learn. I might tap in.
Oh God, I
love white tears. I love white tears. I said that like
I love good news. Oof, let me say this. Okay, go on.
Something so specific and so feral happens to my body when a white boy shaves his head correctly. And that happened recently.
Correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to say more.
Things can go wrong, and they often do. But when it works, it does wonders for the soul.
You're talking about Penn Badgley.
I'm talking about Penn. I'm always talking about Penn Badgley. If I'm talking about a man, it's Penn Badgley.
That like is low key pretty true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know I should work on that. I'm supposed to be gay. No, but so he shaved his head, and his TikTok comments were, let's say, divided, a nation divided.
Mm.
And we're on the correct side of history, as we often are, truth tellers, which is being very pro Penn with a shaved head.
Like a buzz cut.
A buzz cut.
Yeah.
Not like bald, but we'll get into that later. His shaved head is so fucking sexy, and it's brought me back to almost every time it's been done correctly, because here's an example of when it's been done incorrectly, which is when he shaved his head for Gossip Girl season 1. Because he didn't have a beard that connected, and it got really weird. And then he had those sideburns that were the size of Utah.
The sideburns were the worst part. The sideburns, yeah. The sideburns, I'll grant you that.
Oh, thank you granting me that. Bitch, first of all.
I think I'm going to say that more often. Yeah, I'll grant you that.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll kill you.
But like, I'm trying to figure out if you're in line to like be pro Penn Badgley with a buzz cut, stay in line. I don't understand not liking it.
I don't get it
His
either.
little ringlets are a little bit too like, I don't know, a little bit too like much. They're too like cute to me.
Yeah.
Like I think him with a buzz cut is so sexy.
Very much so.
And I have to be fair. Like I don't want to grant Brad Pitt anything.
Right.
But like him and Mr. and Mrs. Smith with a shaved head, like that buzz cut did a lot to me. It did a lot to my like masculine imagination of like what a man could be. Okay.
The possibilities, what men could be.
Yes. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is hot.
Wait, okay. I'm going to steal something that you said. And I love.
She always does. So what's different now? Okay. Interesting.
No, that's redacted on Twitter. And I won't say names. I won't say names yet, but DM me and Venmo me and I'll tell you. But you had said something that was very poignant, which is this is white men's equivalent of a breakup bang. And also the equivalent of when a gay dyes their hair blonde. It's like
a bleach. Yeah.
A bleach blonde.
Yeah.
It's like giving wellness check meets like maybe the cuntiest look you've ever had.
And see, it's in between wellness check and, oh, you're taking it.
Yeah.
That like, that's where a lot of lives are made.
It's
or a
a
lot
fine
of
line.
careers are made. Like, that's where you want to be right in the middle of.
Wait, have you ever had a breakup bang?
No.
Oh.
You know, I don't like curly bangs.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You care about yourself.
it always looks bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen a curly bang look good not in a stylist chair.
Correct. I did that in 8th grade, and my punishment for cutting my own bangs and hair was
Keeping
keeping
them.
it. Keeping it. My mom said, that's your look now. But I've done the bleach blonde gay thing, and that one went really well. Let's talk about femme top fall. And so now we have, Hunter hated that.
Okay.
And so now we have Penn.
Yes.
And Penn has brought me to some important people I want to bring up. Shuffles cards.
Bring them into the space.
Okay, let's talk about.
So who works like a white man buzz cut in your mind?
Okay. Number one, or at least top 5 spot, Channing Tatum. His long hair is god awful. His buzzed hair, specifically his buzzed hair when he was walking Sean John. This was post stripper era.
And then pre She's the Man.
Pre She's a Man, and then like his brief modeling career. And he had a buzz cut that was the sexiest thing. You know what? You know why I'm so sexy? It emphasized his lips. It made you realize how big those DSLs are.
You know, oof.
And I would like to find out.
You know what my mom said.
And repeat it for the class.
Watching She's a Man with my mother in the movie theater in 2007 or whatever. She was like, who's that man? He's got a little black in him.
And there's something about a bald head on a white boy that's really taking it that is like a little lesbian and a little black. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe because we did it first and we did it better. Like lesbians will always do it better and black men will always do it better. And sometimes you're both.
Yeah. But I think it accentuates the cheekbones. You have to have like a certain face shape to really be able to pull up. You have to have a strong jaw.
Yeah.
You have to have a high, like something here.
And on that note, like I had a buzzed head so snatched. Number 2.
It's very David Beckham.
Bring it there.
Very David Beckham. Like
bring it there.
That and it also feels like a very early 2000s thing.
Yeah.
Like in between, like right after Leo DiCaprio and like River Phoenix were doing the whole like long hair thing, then you come with the buzz cut and it's like, oh, you're taking it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, calling balls and strikes, people who I don't actually personally care for, and yet have to acknowledge Justin Timberlake on the cover of Future Sex Love Sounds.
Oh my God, I got nervous you're about to say that about David Beckham and I
No.
Oh, yes.
It's
Thank
like
you for saying that.
Giving a man who's working hard.
Mm-hmm. Working hard for his money, working hard for his black community. Well, was then, not anymore.
Yes, he and Timbaland got in the studio and said, we're going to heal racial relations across the country.
I raised my finger and then I turned into a fist. As I said that. But I actually want to go back to David Beckham because I feel like the important thing about a white man buzz cut is also talking about the context in which they do it.
Yeah.
And like David Beckham had, if you watch the documentary, which was the horniest thing I'd ever seen with my 2 eyes, he like cut his hair. You disagree? Hunter made a face. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I don't think it's the horniest thing I've ever seen with my 2 eyes. I've also seen Challengers. I've also seen True Blood. So, okay, but go on.
I love you. Oh my God, I love you. You know something. Ooh, you know it all. Okay, let's go back to the tapes. So in this documentary, he basically shaves his head as like a fuck you, as like a I'm in my bad boy era, like his really like Goldilocks of love, blonde hair. He said, see you later. Like and entered his bad boy era after that. And so it feels like something that is maybe done correctly when the context is like I'm shifting the narrative or I'm going through a breakup.
No, that's a very good point because I'm thinking of Charlie Puth.
Oh.
He also shaved his head when he was like trying to enter his bad boy era. That was like the time when he was really trying to make you believe that he dated Selena Gomez and that like she broke his heart. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez is like, I'm sorry, we did one song together. Like,
get a grip. And we shot this music video separately.
Like so. Literally, please relax. But so like, yeah. Like and that makes sense to me.
Another, if we bring up Selena Gomez, I'm going to transition to Disney people, which is Joe Jonas. And the first time he cut his hair, which was 2013.
I'm sorry, which Jonas is Joe again?
The bi one.
The tall one. The one who's married to...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The tall one. They're like all 5'6" and under. Like that's you're being really generous.
Okay. Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas. And so he shaved his head in like 2013 and it was like right before, and again, everyone hated it. And it was right before the boys announced that the band was breaking up and they weren't going to make their 5th studio album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Nick did it in 2016, like right around, say it with me, Jealous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't take it there.
I still get jealous.
the soul clap with the black choir and Jealous.
The only way to listen
no.
to Jealous is the one with the black choir behind it.
Of course. No,
Carrying him.
I feel like I sent that to totally no context at all.
Yeah.
Maybe like every 3 months.
Every 3 months, 8 a.m. on a Tuesday, Hunter's listening to Jealous. So that's also, again, like, they both look sexy to me with their bald head. Those two were on my team.
Yeah. But then, I mean, you know, there are people who like, it was only when I was like really sitting and thinking that I remember that Matthew McConaughey has gone buzz cut, that Matt Damon has gone buzz cut. And it's like, you all can't sustain this. You can't. Right.
Matthew, focus on the voice.
Like,
it's
just too like, you have to be able to work it if you have a buzz cut. You have to be able to like do
Yeah.
a little bit of this.
You got to have like your shoulders down,
little bit of that.
titties up.
Yeah.
And then you could do a buzz cut.
You can't just like come out of nowhere and act like you earned it. No, you have to have gone through something.
Yeah. Wait, Matthew McConaughey's gone through like everything, I feel like.
But everything at once at different times.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, fair. Okay, you know, I said I would come back to this, which is, let's have a conversation about bald men. Like hot boys have haircuts. Real men are bald. And I'm saying that with my chest. So let's talk about, does that say Stanley Tucci? Yeah, that says Stanley Tucci. What else does that say? Does that say, oh.
Just for context, on Peyton's little card, she wrote The Rock, and I crossed it out.
And I did not realize it. You're such a bitch. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a sex symbol, and I will stand on that hill.
No, he is not. I swear to God, if you pantsed that man, it would be like Ken, like just no genitalia, just nothing. He's no appeal whatsoever.
And that's like sexual
he has
to
only
me.
commercial appeal. Like he belongs in an ad for like a protein shake.
And I would buy it. Who's your ultimate bald-headed hoe?
Girl, Tyson Beckford. Bitch, how dare you have this whole conversation and not even bring up that man's name?
We were talking about white men.
You always are.
And you're right. And I should work on that. The way Taylor is like, white trash, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. A black lesbian talking about white men is like something that needs to be stopped.
Did you see that tweet that I sent you, that I DM'd you and Evan over the weekend?
No.
That there's no one more pro-black than a light-skinned girl who's tired of getting mixed allegations.
And that person might be in the room with us right now.
Well, no, but Tyson Beckford really is taking it. He invented that whole genre of being a bald man.
I agree. Fine as fuck.
I was going to add someone else's name, but no.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who else though? Smith Jerrod. Smith Jerrod.
And when he buzzed
his
the
hair,
buzz cut for
yes.
Sam when she had cancer. Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
But really the ultimate bald-headed hoes are lesbians when they shave their head. One of them in the room with us right now, but most
like,
importantly,
okay, Miss Set It Off.
And period. That's cornrows. It doesn't count. But really, number one spot, Kristen Stewart in that one movie no one watched about space.
And Natalie Portman didn't sob in real time getting her head shaved in V for Vendetta for you to act like she's not a part of this conversation.
Thank you for holding me accountable yet again. Safe space.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
I am personally still in a bad place thinking about drinking 44 ounces of a damn soda. Oh my gosh, that just sounds nasty.
We're adults here.
Unless it's like a movie theater Sprite, then I digress. And if you're gonna buzz your hair as a man, you need to be doing it in, I will say, V for Vendetta-ly. V for Vendetta-ly, Natalie Portman-ly.
I'm gonna add that to the dictionary.
Thank you.
Let me say this.